Montaigue, Leigh, WTBA, World Thai Boxing Association, Dim Mak, the Western View, Lesson 6. Please have a look at previous lessons and introduction to have an idea of what we're talking about in these lessons. Okay, carrying on from where we left off, we are going with not much vocal control left. We're losing our voices for all the screaming. Anyway, where were we? What point are we doing? Liver 13. Yeah. Liver 13 point. Okay, liver 13 is right on the tip of the floating rib. So if you feel down your ribs, feel down there, you'll feel each rib connects from the chest plate to the spine.
Yeah.
But you feel down, and then you go, oh, that one's not connected. Just in there, there's a rib that comes around and it just sits there floating like that. So that's where we're aiming, is right in there. I guess it's roughly pretty much on the 45-degree mark from your center to the center here, like the direct 90-degree angle. Pretty much if you go 45-degree angle there and just under the rib, you're going to get the point kind of thing as a rough guide. But have a feel there so you can know where the point is. So the liver 13 point has always been known in Dim Mak as one of the most deadly. It's one of the really bad shots. Boxers get knocked out with that point all the time, and that's through a huge big boxing glove, and you know they're used to taking punches. So the way we want to hit this point is pretty, as I said in the previous lesson, I wouldn't go for that myself because I'm a taller attacker. I can't hit that point. I've got to go down so low to hit it, so Leigh's going to be doing the demonstrating for this. But it's again up underneath the rib, straight into that floating rib pretty much. So if there's the floating rib, kind of like that, you're pretty much attacking straight into it and crushing it back like this, but basically attack to the center of the body. I guess when you're hitting it, straight in there to the center of the body with an upward angle. This is a little bit more upward. You can hit the point again with any angle, it'll still work. But the previous lesson we talked about a slight upward angle. Now we're talking about an actual uppercut. When we hit it, boom, you're actually hitting up under the point. But of course, like the final application that we do with the backward elbow, it doesn't have to be an uppercut. That is the best way to hit it, but a straight in elbow. An elbow is such a heavy, powerful weapon, it doesn't need to be up to cause the effect. So really, you're just going to get an elbow going straight in, it's going to work. So before we begin the applications and technique training for the striking and so on, Leigh's just going to give a talk as to the Western view, the medical view, as to why this point damages the body.
Yeah. As Eli said, this is the floating rib, and Eli said that boxers get knocked out. Well, the boxers get knocked out because of the compressive effect, which is causing the diaphragm to contract. The diaphragm contracts, causes knockout because you're winded, you can't breathe back in. On a Dim Mak view, or on a death point striking view, this rib, as Eli said, is a free floating rib. There is a little bit of cartilage that attaches to it, but nothing like the intercostal cartilages, which are higher up in the rib cage. There's a tiny little attachment, so that it is basically a free floating rib. And on the right-hand side here, good shot into the free floating rib there, basically sticks it into the liver. Obviously, you stick something into the liver, it's like being stabbed in the liver, you'll bleed out pretty quickly. On the left, sorry about the voice again, we've been shouting, we've been striking. On the left-hand side, again, there's a partial effect on the liver, but you're taking the free-floating rib and you're pushing it into the spleen or into the stomach. This is causing the death point effect as well. Because of the nature of farging and the fact that we're not just using pushing force, we're using centrifugal force and then centripetal force, which is causing our shock wave to go into the body. In emergency trauma, when a shock wave goes into the body, it causes an effect known as shearing, where the internal organs move independently from the external body, and this can cause rupturing or splitting of the liver and the spleen, or just ripping them away from the mounts or the blood vessels that supply them, so then you get a massive internal bleeding effect as well. So there's two reasons why I work on a death point level. One is it will stab the internal organ behind it. Two is the shock wave that we put through the body, and if I just do it gently, you can see Eli's other arm will move just a little bit, so that you can see there's a shock wave going into the body because you're using centrifugal and centripetal force, and this causes a shearing effect, either ripping the organ itself or tearing it away from its blood vessel mounts.
Cool. There you go. So the initial knockout effect is, as you said, there's more to do with the diaphragm.
More to do with the diaphragmic winding effect.
Yeah. Cool. Whereas the longer term, because piercing, that's not going to have an instant response as such, but it will obviously.
But anything goes in through your liver, your body is just going to be immediately become horizontal to try and maintain its blood flow. This is why a lot of the time when in a knockout, what the body's actually doing is it's taking the blood from the external limbs, which it doesn't need, and it's concentrating the blood and the internal organs to defend them, keep them very well vasculated with blood and oxygen so that they survive. So even if, you know, okay, he's not going to bleed to death immediately, he'll bleed to death over a couple of minutes, but still, bang, as soon as something's gone straight into the liver and the liver's been pierced, the body will become horizontal to try and maintain the blood pressure and the oxygen that's going to that organ.
Okay. So legs will go.
Yeah, legs will go, they'll come down, that's it. And then they'll bleed out, you know. But it's not going to be instant like it is in the movies. Nobody dies that instantly, but it's a few deaths, you know.
Yeah. Okay, so there's the reasons why. Let's go on to how to hit the point. Right, the first little technique we've got a double liver 13 point, or again, depending on the angle, you may not get liver 13 quite on the second strike, but if you don't, you're going to get a lovely punch anyway. So the first punch is blocking across like that, V-stepping to the side. Again, same principles as we've been working on previously. With this one, it's very important to attack at least the upper forearm, not the wrist, right? Nothing wrong with attacking the wrist. A lot of people say if you attack the outside of the arm, you must hit here. If you attack the inside of the arm, you must hit here. That's not always true. It is a good principle, nothing against it, because they'll say that if I block this, he can fold and hit me with the elbow, or fold it and hit me with the back fist, for example. However, that's only if I block him. If he throws a punch and I block, he can fold and do this. But if you try to fold in with the elbow after the strike, you see? But I didn't block, I attacked. So when I did my block was going up the arm and into his neck. I was never thinking just block across, because if I block across, he can then fold it and back to the other side. So if you are blocking across, if it's the other hand that's going to be your punch, or strike of any kind, then yes, we want to control the elbow so that effect can't happen. If I hit him here, about the only thing he might be able to do would be to fold in and barge me with the shoulder. But because I'm using a long reach weapon, even if he does that, he's going to get hit by this before he gets me with the shoulder. So, because the shoulder is such a short weapon. So hitting there, straight into the forearm there, just the lower or upper part of the forearm. Across like that, it's a lateral strike. Let's see, it comes straight back in, up, boom, right like that, again with those three knuckles, boom, coming straight through there. As soon as you've done that, you control this arm, just to make sure it's not going to whack you in the face or anything, because you've got it covered here, you see, bang. So now, because there's going to be a little bit of pressure this way from him, I don't want to bring it through, because now I'm going to he might be able to push me off balance before I push that second strike in. So bang, I'm actually going to lengthen by controlling his arm outward, you see. So if I go bang and just put a block there to cover it, if he knows what he's doing, he does push in, I'm not going to get that second punch in, you see. Because I can't really control him much, even if I try to pull down or up, I can't do much here, like this. This one's fine, because this is a much stronger leverage on the body for that first punch. But the second one, you see that? I'm pulling him, I'm lengthening his body. Boom! And as I say, you might not get liver 13, because that's more towards the front with this second punch. But it's still the same kind of body mechanics, same area of the body. So you're probably going to get, gallbladder 25, I think, is in there. So it's still a lovely point strike to get to, right in the side. You're basically going straight into the underside of the rib there. Boom! With that one there, like that. The second strike that we're getting is, I'll just use this side, so taking across, the same thing, don't block the wrist, block the elbow. Now again, in my case, I'd bring this over the top, you see, because I'm taller. But in Leigh's case, he's of course going to come under, so you're going to get that liver 13 strike there. Okay, so I'll go into detail of the strikes with the bag. So with reference to the actual strikes, if you just do that one again, the first one.
The first one?
Yeah, just the very first punch, that's it. So notice he's still got that covered, so as you can see, this looks better now. See how Leigh doesn't have to squat down like I was, because he fits for the strike. I can feel that right there. Oh, that's an awful place to be hit. So that's the first move, just BAM! Straight up under me. And the importance here is you've got to get this punch coming through as I'm punching. You don't want to go like block, punch, because as soon as I feel that, I'm going to cover, you see, and you're going to break your hand on my elbow. And I did this to a guy once, much taller guy, he was about 7 foot tall, and it works beautifully on him because he was so tall, I just fit straight under him. But because I moved through so fast, what happened was, I hit his arm there, and he did as soon as because I didn't tell him what I was going to do. We were just demonstrating in a class, but I didn't tell him what I was going to do. And his instinctive reaction was, as soon as he felt this, yeah, he tucked it in. But because I was shorter than he was, and I moved my body past him, you see, so I still got past his elbow. So I'm not doing this, you see, and hitting from out here, because now he could still get that on. So the idea is hit it there and move in for the punch. So you're punching from close range. You're not punching from like long range like this, you see. The other reason you want to be close is to get that upward angle into the bag. Or the bag, the person. The person, yeah. So when I'm punching here, if I go long range, now I can't create really an upward angle. I'm just going to have to punch in from that range. But as I come in, now, you see I can get that upward angle coming through. So that means A, I'm going to get the angle right, and also, even if he does tuck this back, I'm past where his guard would have been. But if I was out here, see, then I'm going to get crushed by his elbow. So there's always a chance he'll cover it, but the idea is you want to give him less chance to cover it. The other idea is, bang, if he does cover that, boom, then you come straight through with the other one. Even right into the back of his kidneys in here is going to be a lovely punch to come through. So that's what we're looking at. So if you do that one again, just the first one, bang, let's assume, whatever, I covered this for some reason, boom, see, he's going to get me with the second one. So they've got to fire one after the other, boom, boom. No pausing and faffing about. You've got to get bang, bang. It should be as quick as if you're throwing, boom, boom, 2 punches. Even though you're putting your defences and coverings in there, you're as quick as if you were throwing 2 punches. Okay, this one, as I said already, you're attacking there. You're stepping across the body, like this. Whack! Now, I'll just demonstrate with the upper attack, because it's another nice technique for you to have. It's not a liver 13 shot, but it's just a nice technique. Bang, covering across. That's going to pull his arm down, boom! Straight in there, either into the temple or anywhere into the neck. It's going to be a lovely shot. Now, depending on where you're going from there, you're normally going to get what? Boom! You see? I'm pretty much side on to the technique. If, I don't know, let's say hypothetically you had another guy coming from over here, you might actually come over and be backwards to him, because from there you might be able to be in a better position to deal with the next guy. So you're basically turning around to get to the other guy. But if I'm only dealing with the one person, boom, then I'm probably going to come from a side elbow. So with reference to the method that we were using, we were going bang, bang, and coming across. You've got to get your feet moving now, because I've got that right leg forward. I'm going to do a change step, and boom, coming across and under there, like that. So you see, I'm kind of side on. I'm not directly side on, I'm a little bit towards the other side, but that's what we want there. And of course, as a taller person, you'd come over the top. So we're now getting a bit more footwork happening as well.
Go on. Go fine. Go on. Sorry.
No worries. Yeah. So, boom. So all the steps we've done so far have just been V steps. We haven't done any change steps or switching around. So we're just doing a V step. Boom, in there. Now, see that with the feet? I've switched the feet on that second movement. So as I'm covering, notice how my right hand is also covering up just to cover my face. So I'm not relying only upon this one, like this. As soon as that comes through, bang, this is the main hand, but this is covering his fist. But see, I've switched my feet very quickly. I'm not doing this. That's both together. That's not moving with the body. One foot will always move before the other. So move your right foot back and move your left foot in. I can't tell you where to place your feet, because every person you have punching you has a different length of arm. As long as you remember, just move your right foot back, and see that helps you to yield to that force, you see? It's getting your body out of the way. So I'm down here, bang, it comes in with this one, wah! You see? And now look at where I am. Boom! Straight over the top of his head there. And if I was shorter, under here, you see? So we're learning how to move the feet now in that application. So again, from your point of view, bang, wah, into there. He's going to do his switch step, bang, boom, straight under there. So he's got his weight now down in that right leg, so the side of the arm he's using. Notice the other hand's always covering, just to make sure this doesn't come over into the body. Okay, let's have a look at this on... Okay, so we're looking at the uppercut now. So one of these, if you're lucky enough to have been given one of these as a gift, this is perfect for practicing, boom, these uppercut punches. Even a normal bag though, the bag I used to have down home was a water-filled bag, so it was still a flat bag, not the curved type like this. If you hit it hard enough, the bag's still going to bend around the shape of your hand anyway. So maybe if you're a very slight build, so you're not getting that much power, and it's a really heavy bag, you might find it difficult to generate an upward angle. It might bend your wrist, you see. But if the bag's a little like this one, I don't know if you can see that from back there, but it's a nice solid bag, but it's got that bit of give, you see. Not that it needs it because it's already the right angle anyway, but if you have a flat bag which has a bit of give, then if you aim up, the bag's going to bend and still give you that upward angle punch to the movement. So what we're looking at here is, as I say, close range, you see. See, I'm not hitting from back here because I'm going to generate a forward push or a forward strike from that direction. So you see that? I'm coming in, my elbow is actually like very close to my hip when I'm delivering the strike in this case. So I'm putting that in there. Again, I'm striking with the bottom 3 knuckles in this case for this type of a punch, dropping under it and punching up. Come in very close, bring your guard there, and then come straight back to the other side. So this one's like a closed movement, and this is an opened up movement. So we're coming through from there. Alright, carrying on from there. So we're launching it up very close, you see. Learn how to do it close. Don't have any range. And particularly, even if you are close, don't be going like this to generate your force. You want to start here. Start from a close range point of view. Boom, straight under the back. And go, boom. See that power's coming through? Coming up, like that. Notice the main difference with this type of a strike in comparison to all the ones we've done so far in the series is there's a bit more dip in the shoulder, you see? Because I want to get that upward angle. I don't want to keep my shoulders flat and then the upward angle is only coming from the arm power. I want to tilt my body slightly, like as if I'm going like this into the punch. So I'm compressing slightly on that side. You see, now I'm getting body force going up, not just arm force going up into the punch. So step in with your left leg if you're on this side, and obviously right leg if you're on that side. So, like that. Drop your body, boom! You see? Now, most importantly is punch it like that. Because if you punch it like that, you see how that had more push to the strike? The main thing there is, it's going to waste time. You're not going to be able to, and then he's going to hit you before you throw the second strike. So based on that principle I've already said in the 2-person work, if he does block this, and I'm thinking this, he's already thrown the second punch, and then I'm screwed up, see? If he blocks that first punch, boom, boom, you see I'm already in with the second punch. So it's recoiling each time that we attack. What did you say before? Violent, shaking, brutal. Hang on. I wrote it down. Pure shaking, pure vibrating death. Pure vibrating death. Pure vibrating death. That's what we want. Pure vibrating death.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we don't want to be sort of like thinking, that's a nice solid punch. But it's, I'm playing, I'm boxing. I want to have that, like the thing I want to hit. You have to have a mindset for real self-defense. Your mindset should be crush and break and destroy the thing you're hitting. When you watch an MMA match or something, I'm not putting down MMA at all, they're supreme, amazing athletes. but that's still not real self-defense, street fighting. They're still playing. They're in a mind state of, I'm safe, I've got the ring manager there, if I get really beaten up, I know I'm not going to be killed, and so on. And when you see them hitting each other, you can see they're not really, it's subconsciously in the back of their mind. They're hitting hard, but they're not hitting like, I want to kill you kind of strikes. Whereas look at the old competition fights in Lenny McLean's day, and when Lenny McLean hits someone, he looks like he wants to kill the other guy. That's a street fighter playing in the ring, as opposed to a ring fighter playing in the ring. And when a ring fighter plays in the street, he might, I'm not saying definite, but he might get overwhelmed with the violence that's coming towards him because he's used to non-violence in his confrontations. Anyway, back to the punch. Boom! Straight up under it. As soon as you've done the first one, so the first one there, you see that? See how the right shoulder is slightly lower than the left shoulder, indicating that upward force. And see how I'm pushing up from that rear foot? The heel even twists out just a little bit. On contact with the strike. The second one is much the same. So you drop the left shoulder. In this case, you sink the weight further into that front leg. So I'm down in the front leg, but I've got this force coming from the back leg, you see? The second punch is coming mostly just driving into that left leg when we push the punch in. So there's not so much coming from this leg in this case. In a reverse stance, you get more power off the back foot, you see, like that. In a natural stance, same leg and foot forward, you don't get as much thrust from this leg. So it's more waist power when you're working from this point of view. So practice some solo first. Boom, practice that one, get used to it. And then for the second one, remember we're covering here. So don't just throw the punch here like this. Cover that strike as you throw the punch. Pull it in. Think lengthen with that arm as the left punch comes through like that. Sink your weight, so place yourself like that, and then go, dip the shoulder, angular up, like that. That's what we want to try to achieve. Bang, bang, like that. Make a sound when you do it. That's what we want to try to get. See, I'm dropping my weight into that left leg. I'm not just turning. This dropping onto the ground helps to bring out your explosive nature. Your pure shaking, I've forgotten it again.
Pure vibrating death.
Pure vibrating death comes out better when you drop your feet on the ground, when you make a noise. This is what all animals do. Animals make a noise when they get into fights because it brings up that survival mode in your body. But if you're like, just like this, you stay in that human mode. We don't want to be in a human mode. Bang! Like that. Okay, so then you've got to put the two together. So we get bang, bang coming through. Move in on the first one, indicating the technique. So, like you're moving in on him. Bang. And then coming through there. Okay, so move in and you see, both shots are snappy, they recoil back. Neither shot is staying on the bag. Right? Like that. Both aiming up, spiraling this way. Anterior spiral?
Anterior spiral, yeah.
Yeah?
Anterior spiral.
Anterior, medial spiral.
Yeah.
Okay? Anterior spirals on both. They're going outward.
Lateral anterior spiral.
Lateral anterior spiral.
Yes.
Okay, so come in with that one. Like that. And see that drop on the left leg. That's important. The first one is the power from the ground is coming from like a pushing action, coming off that back foot as I'm coming through. The second one doesn't have that movement because I'm already there. So I can't drive off one of my legs. So I'm dropping my weight down into the left leg. So what's the difference of the two punches? They're the same punch but use different body mechanics. The first one launches in. The second one drops the body weight onto that one. So we get you see? That's what we're trying to get. Okay? The last one for this one is this elbow coming back like this. Now, So as I say, for me it'd be into the face. For Leigh doing it, it'd be into the body. So with that one there, we'll just do it how it was in the form. So we've done train it both ways. Train it with the step, just to have a practice of delivering the strike after you've done the step. So you've done your bang, bang. Keep in mind all of these should be done on both sides, of course. So we're there like that, so you're going to go, what? There's your little change, you see? Your weight goes into the right leg, and then as you sink it into your left, boom, there comes your elbow over the top. So, where are we? We're here like this. That's what we want with the elbow. Palm flat to the ground, coming straight in with the back side of the elbow now. So you're getting used to moving, boom, and then delivering, not just standing here and delivering, you know, from a stationary point. So, boom, boom, like that. You can probably even do the whole set, I guess. Bang, bang, and then I'm going to go, yeah, that side, like that. So we can get, you see, like that. So you've hit it the first two, like that, on the final shot. So you've got to get that, bang, like that, and then you probably, yeah, you're coming straight in there. You might get your distancing and stuff a little bit off on the first go, but you try it because you've not got the hand there to tell you where to go with the body. So you're going to come, and sometimes you're going to wait for the bag to swing back as you, when you do it. So that's the idea there. Then practice it, of course, so you get your close range power, because this one you might be getting a little bit of swing. Even though in the application you're probably going to get a bit of swing, so you can utilise that into your strike. But good to know you can hit from close range as well. So start really close to the bag like that. Like that. Just have your waist slightly to the right. Turn straight in. Like that. You see? Just off the bag. That's what we want to try to get. See how the body's moving in a bit? You see, I'm dropping the weight down into that left leg as I'm doing the strike. Like that, as I strike the bag. Right, that's the end of lesson 6.
We're zoomed in.
That's the end of lesson 6. The liver 13, floating rib. Thank you very much. Next lesson we'll be dealing with something really deadly. Thank you very much.
Excellent.